Paris has the toughest gun control just about in the entire world. France has the toughest gun control just about in the entire world. If a few of those people that are now dead, if a few of those people had guns strapped to their ankles or strapped to their waist, you wouldn't have the problem.
That is presidential GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump at a Republican rally back on December 15th. Join us to talk about guns and active shooters and training is Dr. G.M. Cox. And Dr. Cox, first of all, good morning to you. You're a law enforcement expert. Also teach crisis management there at Tarleton State University. Thanks for your time this morning. Is Trump right?
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning to you. What do you think about what he had to say?
Well, I think when we start listening to rhetoric of politicians, we need to be careful. They're obviously trying to craft their message to appeal to a certain audience, just like you and I. When we talk about something, we're trying to probably address a certain audience, and I think that's what they're doing. And in terms of whether I believe having a gun strapped to your ankle is the right way to go, no, I do not, and there's a number of reasons why I think it's a bad idea. But I think there's many things people can do about active shooters.
I want to talk to you about that, obviously, specifically,
okay.
Because you do deal in this. And I thought, too, I mean, a lot of times, I think sometimes Americans, we read too much or we see too many movies. And the actual situation, in fact, I think I read something where 9 out of 10 times people even have guns on them wind up being surprised and, because they can't figure out if they're going to shoot or not, or wind up not able to even reach for the gun. What are your thoughts about active shooter situations? Though? What can we do as citizens here, just in the mall, at schools, what have you?
Well, I think the best thing people can do is quit being in denial about the threat. Everyone needs to have a plan, and if something happens, execute the plan. The biggest problem I see is being totally caught off by surprise and freezing. Not knowing what to do, not believing their eyes. I think people should. There's a couple of things they can do. If you go to ready.gov, and there's a really good program in there called Run, Hide, Fight. That's the one I recommend. There are other schools out there. But the first rule is to threaten the situation, run if you can. If you can't run, hide. If you can't hide, then prepare to fight. And what I see is a lot of Americans, they don't. You and I, when we were growing up, we probably had a bully on the block. Anyway, we had fist fights. There's many Americans today, particularly in the Gen Y, never had a fight in their life. They wouldn't know how to get violent if they had to. So they need to have a plan and then execute the plan.
So specifically, what would that include for someone? Let's talk both. Maybe someone who would maybe carry a weapon, or specifically, maybe most people don't. They don't carry a weapon, concealed carry.
Well, yeah, you can't rely on a weapon. There are many things around us wherever we go that can be used as what we call improvised weapons. So, number one, I say practice personal awareness. What are you bringing to the table? How are you contributing to your own danger? Where are you going? When are you going? I'll give you an example. It's absolutely a bad idea to ever use an ATM after midnight anywhere. So why would anybody ever run out of money at midnight? Plan ahead. Execute your plan, have a plan, and execute it. The second thing is if you're in a place where you can hide or run, do that. But you got to be aware of the fact: can you run? Are you physically fit enough to run? The second part is situational awareness. Where are you? Where are the exits? Where's the front door? Who's around you? Just look around. You don't have to be paranoid. Just look around. Be aware of your surroundings.
Very well said. And I think a lot of times you're saying don't be paranoid. Don't walk into a mall and or a school setting or whatever the case, a public location, and be paranoid. But awareness, how do you train yourself to be aware, so to speak? You're just there shopping. You're looking at sweaters.
Yeah, you're a great question. When I'm walking in the mall, I kind of play a game with myself. I try to recognize people I know before they recognize me. That tells me that I'm operating in a personal awareness and situational awareness mode. So I'm just looking around, and when you make eye contact with someone in America, it's not uncommon for you to shake your head or whatever. Let them know you recognize them, you've seen them. When a person looks you in the eye and doesn't say anything to you, then you need to be aware that You don't know what's going on. They maybe have a different culture than you. They may not come from Texas, but if you see that, then I think you make a mental note. Okay, we got a problem. This individual's not even acting like a normal human being who would recognize and acknowledge your presence. But there's a great book out there written by a guy named Clint Emerson called Escape the Wolf. And it's about personal awareness, situational awareness, and how to practice a little bit of safety. And it's great, gives great tips on traveling to different countries. Americans are the world's worst at telegraphing who they are by the way we eat, by the way we handle ourselves, by the way we speak to other people.
All right. Again, the website you were telling us about, too?
It's a book, ready.gov.
Ready.gov.
And ready.gov, and they have an excellent video in there. It's only about 5 to 10 minutes long. Come out of Houston, Texas. It's Run, Hide, Fight.
Dr. Cox, appreciate your time, sir. Thank you. That's Dr. G.M. Cox. He's Director of Public Administration Master's Degree Program at Tarleton State University when it comes to law enforcement. Also teaches crisis management at TSU. 714.